Guys, this is Nick Brown at J-Tech today. Today we're going to be going over a pre-alignment inspection on a Class 8 truck. Okay. This is just a visual inspection just to see where we're at as far as alignment goes. Okay. This is going to be the front steer axle and then the rear tandem drive axles. Okay. One of the first things you want to look at is basically just the tires. Okay. You want to look at to see if they're feathered. And this one particularly is a feathered tire. It is worn on the outside, and is also worn on the inside. In other words, the edge, it's sort of kind of rounded off. Okay, that's feathered. Basically, what that would have to do is worn kingpins. Vibration would move the kingpins back and forth, so therefore would shake the tire back and forth while the truck was going down the road. Therefore, you get uneven wear on certain spots of the tire. That's what's happening in this situation. Okay. All right. Another thing you want to look at is you want to get up in the cab of the truck. Okay. All right. Since we're in the cab of the truck, we have the steering wheel. The normal play for any truck, any Class 8 truck, or any vehicle of any kind. The normal play should be 2 inches, okay? The way that's measured is 1 inch one way, 1 inch the other way. What I usually do is I'll set a stationary piece of object right here, and then I'll center out the steering wheel, and then I'll take a little Sharpie marker and measure 1 inch one way, 1 inch the other way, have that stationary object planted down to the ground, and then I'll swing the steering wheel back and forth to see how far away it goes from that stationary object. Okay. Usually you can use a ruler if you can get it to stay on the ground. I've heard of some guys taking a C-clamp, holding the ruler up, getting it to stay. I don't know how the heck you can get that to be level though. But the normal measurement is 1 inch one way, 1 inch the other way. Okay, now we're going to go to the rear of the truck. Alright, now the back tires. These tires will not come across any situation that the front of the steer axle would go. In a Class 8 truck, the steer axle honestly gets the most abuse as far as measurements go. Because you got the kingpins, you got the steering knuckle that can wear, you got the bushing side of the kingpins that can wear, you got all kinds of factors that can affect tire wear. Now on the drive axles, basically, it's how aligned they are to the frame. Okay, if let's just say you have it off by like maybe 2 or 3 degrees pointed to the right, okay, you're gonna see a lot of wear on each tires. Okay, you're gonna see uneven wear as well as you're also gonna see marks in the tires as to what direction the axle is actually pointed in. I have a Ford truck at home that has an I-beam suspension. The axle or the steering isn't exactly straight, so as I'm going down the road, wearing the tire unevenly in a cross-hatch sort of kind of direction. Okay, long story short, there's going to be uneven wear of the tire, there's going to be excessive wear on the tire, which is going to cost the customer a lot of money. Okay, same goes for the rear axle, same goes for both axles. Okay, basically it's all how they are aligned to the frame. Alright, now we're going to go back to the front of the truck. One of the things that the front steer axle also overcomes is the basic steering components. Okay, here you have your power steering pump, reservoir, have your lines going to the power steering gearbox, and you got your pivot arm and your dragger link, which is connected to your push rod tubes. Okay. One of the things that is a wear point that's often overlooked, especially during during an inspection before a truck goes out on the road to get driven, is the pitman arm splines to the gearbox splines. The splines in there is basically what it is. It's little tiny gears, teeth that are meshed against the inside of this pitman arm. Has the same pattern basically, and so whenever this shaft spins, it's going to swing the pitman arm back and forth, which is going to turn the drag link. what happens is those splines over time will wear, as well as the splines inside the pitman arm will wear. So basically they'll wear out each other, okay, which will cause a gap during the steering. In this case, what it'll do is it'll cause the truck to dart to one direction. You steer left, it's going to keep going left. Okay, if you steer right, it's going to keep going right. Okay, and it's going to be a constant trying to recorrect, trying to lack of tracking situation. It'll be very difficult. It'll be more wear on the tires once again. It'll be more wear on the steer axle tire, or not the steer axle, the drive axle tires. So it would just be a difficult time for the truck to properly track itself when it's out in the road. Okay. Next thing you want to look at is what you can also do, as I mentioned earlier with the Kingpin. If you want to, instead of having to actually take the wheel off the hub, what you can do is you can lift the truck up about 2 inches off the ground, take a big pry bar under the steer axle tire, okay? Stick it under the tire, and then pry up on it, and have someone get under the truck, okay, and see if there's lateral movement inside that tire. What they need to be looking at is they need to be looking at the steering knuckle, which is also attached to the steer axle. Okay. If the steering knuckle is moving back and forth in a lateral position, if this is the front of the truck and he's looking at it from this direction and it's moving back and forth in a lateral position, that means it's worn bushings inside the Kingpin. Okay. So with that, that would also affect alignment. Okay, that would affect alignment big time on these tires. So, with that, guys, that's a multi-point pre-alignment inspection. So, with that, I hope you guys got a lot of information from this video. We'll see you guys later.